So hey guys, I've got a unboxing video which I'm going to do today. I've made an addition to my live kit, which I purchased last fall, and I haven't done any live gigs. So I've got a couple coming up. I've got a couple shows coming up in September. And so one of the things that I've struggled with my live kit is that I've got the DW9000 pedals on the studio kit, and I've got one on the live kit. But the hi-hat stand on my live kit is an older DW5000 hi-hat stand. And I just, I don't want to use the word I hate it, but I really strongly dislike it. It's just, I don't think it's made very well. The chrome's not very good. And the action is just not as good as my Yamaha that I've had mainly probably for like the last 15 to 20 years. I think I've been using that Yamaha hi-hat stand, and it's just built like a tank. The chrome is phenomenal. You would never know how old it is by looking at it. So I looked at all the options. I like a three-legged hi-hat stand. The two-legged ones I've had many years ago, so this is my experience. Maybe the newer ones are a little bit better, but back in the day, I had a DW two-legged stand, and it would just kind of wobble. And I do a lot of keeping time with the hi-hat, so I'm pretty, riding it with my foot a lot, and it would just wave. Now they tell me that they're better now, but because Yamaha does offer this version in a two-legged. But anyway, got the three-legged. It is the HS1200. And so, like I said, they make a couple different versions of this. I always find it interesting that they have such good packaging. You look like it's got the like a full photo on it, full color. Where most just come in a brown shipping box. So that's just always interesting to me. But I guess, if I was working in a music store, this would be great because I wouldn't get this mixed up with something else. Anyway, without further ado, let's unbox this and see what it looks like. It's kind of a treat. I don't open drum hardware very much, so this is kind of exciting. The like 14-year-old me would be in hog heaven with something like this. I mean, I am too. I'm very fortunate that I can get something like this. So let's see. And then, some of you may ask, well, why do you need two hi-hat stands? I really like, and I've always liked, to have a set up at home. And that's like the Gretsch kit set up to record. All the mics are on it, cymbals, blah, blah, blah. It's ready to go. My live kit, like I've got it set up behind me because I'm going to start practicing the material that I need to learn for the September shows. But it can just stay in the cases. You gig, bring it into the garage, bring it into the house, it stays packed up. You don't have to get it out and set it all up. I mean, unless you're trying to fine tune or change heads or something like that. But I like just to have a separate live rig. That way, you're not, I wouldn't probably record as much if I had to break down and set up. Now, when I was in college at ISU, anytime I wanted to play the drums, I had to set them up. I had to cart them out and find a room and maybe go down an elevator or something and set them all up and then pack them up and put them away, which I love doing. And that's always a good time, again, just to look over everything, seeing if anything's broke, anything needs maintenance. But anyhow, let's get to the unboxing. I'm going to unbox, and I'm just talking, but I thought I'd talk while I unbox this. But I'm looking forward to these shows in September. As we get closer, I'll try to maybe post some stuff of how I prepare for something like that, and and then maybe some actual gig footage if the artist lets me do that. I will post some stuff. But here we go. Now, the first thing that comes out is there's actually a manual. I I'm guessing some people have never set up a hi-hat stand before, but I guess this is just required when you sell something. Looks like it's in English and Japanese and maybe French. Yep, Japanese, English, and French. So it tells you how to set the tilter, memory clamps, blah, 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 bolts, spikes, all that good stuff. So here, I'll put it down. Okay, so we got the base. If I can get it out of the package. And as you can see, it's got the newer Yamaha style footboard that they have on their bass drum pedals. Obviously, most companies match their bass drum pedals with the hi-hat pedals. A little bit of tape. And by the way, this stand is going to go on my studio kit, and then my older Yamaha, I believe it's still the 1200 series, is going to come to the live kit. So the workhorse of many, many years traveling and playing. I mean, that hi-hat stand's been all over the country, and it'll find its new home with its siblings, the other Yamaha hardware. So here she is. Let's see if we can get this, how this connects. And interesting, it's got some rubber, I don't know if you can see them, it's got like rubber kind of coating on the end of this, which slides back in the, I look like I've never set up a hi-hat stand before. So we should keep it a little bit quieter, no rattles. But yeah, it's got the two single brace legs in the front, and it's got the one double in the back. And the back one's got this, oh, this is pretty cool. It's got a retractable spike. So, you know, those are wonderful because they keep it from creeping. And it's nice that you can retract it just by pushing a simple button so that as you pack it away, it's not going to tear up everything else in your bag. So, looks like the tension is set somewhere in the middle. So when I set it up, we'll see what that tension's like. And let's see what else. So we got the top part, the top shaft, and it looks like I've got two different size pull rods, which is good. This would be my one, let's see. Yep, there's a shorter, if I can. I'll pull this guy out. So you've got a short one and a longer one. One of my big tips for drummers is most people don't really move their hi-hat up and down. You know, you've got a particular spot that you like it. And I just get out a hacksaw or a pipe cutter or something like that, and I hack off just enough so that the clutch stays secure at the top. So that way you don't have all that extra pull rod at the top. Because depending on how you mount your cymbals, if you like your cymbals low, this pull rod makes it kind of hard to put a cymbal near it because you're gonna bash into it. So I always, you know, set it, get it where I like it, and I get out the hacksaw and I just hack it off. That's a tip I learned from my good friend Pat Duty up in Chicago, who used to play with Lonnie Brooks and a lot of the Chicago blues guys for years. Phenomenal drummer, you should check him out. But he did that with his cymbal stands. So all the hidden part, you know, of your like 3-tiered tubes in your cymbal stands, he would hack that all off, which would lighten up your hardware bag pretty good. I mean, you don't realize how much extra metal is, you know, if you keep your cymbal stands low, you know, you've got a couple feet of extra metal in all those cymbal stands. So he would do all sorts of crazy stuff, hacking drums in half, hacking cymbal stands in half, using a base of a snare stand for a cymbal stand, all kinds of crazy stuff. And he still uses the Yamaha hardware today. And I think Yamaha hardware is probably the best. I haven't tried the drum rack. I would like to try the drum rack. It's a little bit rare to find all the pieces to kind of customize it. So I've got that Pearl Icon rack that I bought many years ago. I think that's the second iteration. Actually, it's the first iteration of the Pearl Icon rack. I've upgraded the legs on it to the second series. And now I think they're on it like a third or fourth. But that's a great drum rack too. But the Yamaha one's a little bit more sleek. And it's all curved stuff, and it looks great. And I just love Yamaha chrome. Now, Yamaha makes motorcycles, and I've always been told that this could be just an urban myth, but you know, that same technology that they do for motorcycles on their chrome and stuff, they use that on all their hardware. So you know, this kit behind me, that hardware is probably 25 years old, 20 years old, and it looks incredible. And part of it is on a lot of it's not like a super shiny chrome. It kind of has almost like a matte finish to it, and I think that helps so that you don't see any blemishes, and it doesn't flake off. Like when I had the DW hardware, you know, just in and out of the hardware cases, just night after night. I mean, those cymbal stands it just started flaking off. I had so many problems with the wing nuts, memory locks breaking and stripping out and stuff like that. But the Yamaha stuff has always been rock solid. So anyway, I'm going to choose this, the smaller pull rod, because I'm going to guess that that's probably, and I need a drum key. So I was tuning up the live kit last night, and so I do have this one. On the other side of this wall is where my Gretsch kit is, and that's, you know, probably about 20 drum keys over there and everything. So, but actually this Yamaha drum key, I really like it. It's their cheapest, you know, drum key. Sometimes it just feels good in the hands. It's got a good, I don't know, it just works. Cheaper drum keys. I was at the Chicago Drum Show, and there was a company giving away drum keys, and they were really cheap. And my wife liked it, thought it was cool, but you know, I can see why they're giving away. But that would be like, maybe I throw it in the glove compartment of my car just in case randomly I'm somewhere and you need a drum key and you don't have, you know, you don't have one. So this is interesting because this hi-hat stand does have a drum key holder, but I don't think there's a drum key. There was not a drum key in the box, so, which is okay. And you know, I think when you have memory locks, you don't need to over tighten them, but you know, snug. Yep, perfect. Fits right there in the drum key holder. So anyway, I've got the Remo locking clutch, and I've used the Remo locking clutch for, I don't know when it came out, but you know, Remo, I would love to have a Remo Master Touch drum set. Like my big influence of mine, Ricky Lawson, played Remo forever till they stopped making the drums. And but they still make a few drum items other than drum heads. So they make a hi-hat clutch that has a locking nut on the bottom. And so I've got a couple of those. You know, I always got one in my cymbal bag, and then the Gretsch kit uses that one. I just like, there's something about the bottom of it. These ones that have like the extra locking drum key thing, just not really a fan of. I think it just adds too much bulk to it. And, you know, with the locking one by Remo, I mean, I've never had the bottom cymbal come off. I've been to so many gigs where you're sitting in, maybe on somebody's drum set, and you're playing the hi-hat, and the bottom cymbal comes off, and then, you know, you're trying to play with one hand, pull this whole thing apart, and then now that the cymbal's not connected to the clutch, they're really tight together, and you're trying to pull it apart, get it back on the clutch while you're playing, and then it's just kind of embarrassing. So anyway, the Remo locking clutch is a wonderful. Actually, I'm going to grab one. So this is the Remo locking clutch, and yeah, it looks just like the Yamaha one that's brand new out of the package. You can maybe see the difference. You know, this one is a lot smaller, but it twists and it locks, and you know, there's not that extra bump, which I feel, you know, I don't know, I'm just not into it. So the Remo locking clutch, awesome. So anyway, I'm glad you guys joined me. Stay tuned. I'm going to try to post some stuff getting ready for these gigs, unless I get fired or something, and then I'll just have learned all their material for nothing. But hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully this old drummer that hasn't gigged in a while can get back into some playing shape and not embarrass himself on the stage. That's what I'm worried about. Studio, that's all controlled. You know, I have full control over that. And but live is live, right? And I miss it a little bit. So we shall see. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the comments. I try to respond to everybody that makes a comment. If you have any comments about this video, you want to get a hold of me, you can find me on Facebook. In the description, you'll see my handles at Facebook. I'm not really on Instagram. Loop Community, where I have all my backing tracks that I sell through there. So my drum parts and all the keyboards and bass and for all the worship songs that we do, and a lot of them that we don't do that I specifically make for Loop. Well, all those tracks I make specifically for Loop Community, but some of them I actually use in our church. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.